Mm, Good day. My name is Amos, and this is week 3 exercises from our Gita Shop class. Question 1 says write a select statement that returns 4 columns from the products table. And so we go to our Microsoft SQL Server Management Studio. It's a select statement, so select product code, product name, list price, and then discount percent from products, and then we end it, execute. So we have a result, the product code, the product name, the list price, and then discount percent. The next question says add an order by clause to this statement that sorts the results set by list price in descending sequence by list price. So our order by statement, order by list price descending, and so we run this, execute it, and so we can see the list price, it starts from the highest all through to the lowest. And so is there any other thing we should do? Nothing. So that's about all for question 1. We move to question 2. Write a select statement that returns 1 column from the customer's table named full name that joins the last name and first name columns. So back to our studio. The question says we should write a select statement that returns 1 column from customer's table, and so we look at the last name and first name, and so we concat. That means we need a concat with a separator. And what are we separating by? The first one, just a space, last name, and then first name as full name from customers table. Yes. And so let's run this and see what we have. All right, we have it, just 1 column now, concatenating the last name and then the first name. Going back to the question, it says format this column with the last name, a comma, a space, and the first name, like this. And so we go back to our query, just add a comma here and run it again, and we have it, last name, comma, and then the first name. So the next thing says sort the result set by last name in ascending sequence by last name. And so we had our order by last name ascending. Did I get that right? Ascending sequence, and so it has to be ascending. So execute, and so we can see it starting from A all through down to Z. All right, so what does the next question says? Returns only the contact whose last name begins from a letter from M to Z. And so we come back here and we add a where clause, where last name, because we're working with last name, where last name like, and so we put our condition there. We are working from M to Z, and so we put M to Z, and then since that's the first letter, we add that the other letters can be anything, and then we run. And so we can see it begins from M and then runs down through to Z. All right, so that's all for question 2. We move to question 3. Write a select statement that returns these column names and data from products table. And so the first thing we are looking at is the products table. And so what columns are we looking at? Product name, product name. We're looking at list price, and then we're looking at date added from what table? Product table. And so we run execute it, and so we have our data, just 10 rows. The next question says returns only the rows with a price list that's greater than 500 and less than 2000. It's greater than 500 and less than 2000. And so we had our where clause where list price is between, we can use between 501 and 2000. All right, and so we execute it, and so we have our records. We have 5 rows. All right, the next question says sort the result set in descending sequence by the date added column. And so we go to order by date added descending. We execute, and so we can see that it has been sorted by the date added. All right, so we move to the next question. Question 4. It says write a select statement that returns these column names and data from the products table. So we are still working with our products table. Let's remove the where condition for now and the order by condition. So we're working with product name now, list price. We're working with discount percent. So we work with discount percent, and then discount amount. But we know there's no discount amount. It has to be calculated from the previous 2 columns, that is the percentage of the list price. And how do we get that? We we do the percentage, that's discount percent divided by 100, and then the answer we multiply it by the list price. That should give us the discount amount. And so the next one we're looking at now is the discount price. The discount price now is the list price minus the discount amount. And so we have something like this, list price minus whatever the whole thing we get from here, and that is as discount price. And so we're good to go from product execute. And so we have the 5 columns that is expected of us, the discount amount, and then the discount price. All right, what else do we need? Sort the result set by discount price in descending order. So we are sorting it, so we use the order by clause. Order by discount price descending. Isn't that what is expected? Discount price in descending sequence. And so we execute, and we can see the discount price. It has to go in descending sequence, starting from the highest all through to the lowest. And so let's move on. The next question, question 5. It says write a select statement that returns these column names and data from the order items table. And so we're going to order items table now. Let's remove all this. We're going to the order items table. Order items, and let's remove the order by also for now. All right, so what are we looking at? Item ID, item price, we're looking at discount amount. What else are we looking at? We are looking at quantity, and then we are looking at price total, and that's a column that is calculated by multiplying the item price by the quantity. And so we multiply item price multiplied by quantity, and that gives us the price total. Then the next column we're looking out for is the discount total. That's a column calculated by multiplying the discount amount by the quantity. And so discount amount multiplied by quantity, that gives us the discount total. All right, the next column we're looking at is the item total. And how do we get the item total? A column that's calculated by subtracting the discount amount from the item price and then multiplying by quantity. And so we have this item price minus discount amount then multiply that by the quantity, and this is as the item total. And so let's run it. And so we have our columns, the 7 expected columns, giving all the required details. And so we move to the any other question? It only returns item totals. It returns rows where the item total is greater than 500, because currently you can see some item totals that are less than 500, and so we add a clause where item total, we just bring the whole of the calculation, we bring it here, where this is, what does the question say? Is it less than or greater than? Greater than 500, and so you add the greater than sign, 500, and then you run your query, and so it eliminates any item total that is less than 500, as we can see here. All right, any other thing? Sort the result set by item total in descending sequence, and so we use the order by, and since item total descending, and then we execute, and so descending sequence, and so we can see the item total is now in descending sequence, as we can depict here. All right, so we'll move to the next question. Write a select statement that returns these columns from the orders table. And so now we are working with orders table, and so we remove all this. We are working with orders alone now, not other items. Let's remove the where clause, order by also. So all right, so what are we selecting? We are selecting order ID. We are selecting order date, and we are selecting ship date. So we are selecting these 3 columns from order table. Is there any other thing? All right, so let's first select that, and we execute. When we execute, we have our records, the 3 columns expected of us. And so let's go to the next one. Return only the rows where the ship date column contains a null value. The ship date column contains a null value, and so we use a where condition here, where the ship date is null, and so we execute. and then we can see there are 5 records having a null ship date. All right, that's it for question 6. So we move to the next question, question 7. It says write a select statement from without a from clause that creates a row with these columns: price, tax rate, tax amount, and then the total. And so we are not needing any from condition here, so we select. What are we selecting? We're selecting 100 as price. We're selecting 0.07 as tax rate, and then the question says tax amount, that's the price multiplied by the tax rate. And so we go to tax amount, which is price multiplied by the tax rate, and that's our tax amount. And then the last column we're looking at is the total, which is the price plus tax. And so the price, which is 100, plus tax, which is the tax amount, and that is our total as total. Then we execute this. It returns just a row: 100 as the price, 0.07 as the tax rate, 7 as the tax amount, and then the total. And that's the end of question 7. And so do we have any other question? All right, that brings us to the end of week 3 exercise. Thank you very much. My name is Amos.